Obesity is becoming a major health problem for children in the United States. The CDC says obesity affects 1 in 5 kids. So having a balanced diet as a child can help prevent weight gain. What should parents and caretakers keep in mind when they're making up the kids' meals? Abby Granger is a dietitian with Akron Children's Hospital. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Yes, what are some of the risk factors, I guess, that can come from an unhealthy diet? What would that have, in terms of an impact on a child's health?
So on a child's health, it's actually similar to an adult health as well. So some of the risk factors can lead to some chronic disease, such as diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, and even things like sleep apnea, which could then exacerbate some of those diseases as well.
Got it. And the Harvard School of Public Health says the childhood obesity rates tripled over the past 30 years. It also got worse during COVID. What do you think is the big contributing factor in this increase when you look at some of the studies and what you're seeing with kids that are coming into Akron Children's?
So a lot of it is hard to pin down exactly what the biggest contributing factors are. A lot of us are kind of tied to our screens nowadays, our phones, our tablets. So increased screen time among our kids is a really big issue that we try to address. So get our kids up and moving a little bit more. And with the increased screen time, we also see some kids reaching for snacks a little bit more often, which a lot of those snacks are filled with, added sugars and stuff that can just exacerbate the obesity issues.
Okay. Now, kids can be picky eaters. It's hard for us moms to get creative with the meals sometimes. So what is a good rule of thumb for planning out the meals and the snacks each day?
So the biggest rule of thumb is to make sure that you are trying to follow the My Plate guidelines, which it has an emphasis on making sure that we're including lots of fruits and vegetables throughout the day, making sure that we're also including some proteins with those too, some lean proteins, and then choosing whole grains if we're choosing any grains. So like your whole grain breads, quinoa and oatmeal are all sorts of examples of that. But that's a surefire way to make sure we're getting in all of those important nutrients.
Okay, and what about the snacks? Any good ideas maybe to swap out the chips or some of the fruit snacks that they beg for maybe something a little healthier from time to time? What are some good ideas?
Yeah, so snacks, the biggest thing we say to our patients here is to pair your peas. So pair a protein-like item with some sort of produce. So any fruit or vegetable with some sort of protein. So a perfect example of that would be like celery with peanut butter or some yogurt with berries. Apples and peanut butter is another example of that. String cheese and some oranges. So pair your peas, trying to have some sort of protein item with some sort of fruit or vegetable is an easy, great snack to have with you.
Got it. And, a lot of families are on the go. Families are busy these days. Parents work. The drive-through is sometimes a crutch that we lean on. Instead of fast food meals, is there any other way to avoid having that type of, meal in your diet each week? Is there anything parents can do to kind of work ahead?
So planning ahead is the biggest thing that can really help us to avoid going through the fast food lines. So just having like a menu set for, potentially some dinners that you want to do throughout the week, and getting the kids involved is actually a really great way to make that a little bit more motivating as well. So talking it through with your family, what are some things that you guys like? And again, trying to center that around the My Plate model. So how can we get our proteins in? How can we get our fruits and vegetables in? And trying to stick to that on those busy days instead of, going through the fast food drive-through.
Yeah, make it a treat once in a while. Maybe they'll behave for it. Really appreciate you joining us here on 21 News at 5. I like your advice. Pair the peas, the produce and the protein. Great information for us.